Alright, hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here, and we're going to be doing a video today on setting up our charts to trade the micro ES contract. We're going to be doing that next week. My goal is to really focus on that as the market has pushed up into a level where, you know, it's kind of extended on the short-term bounce from this nice bounce we've had. We've taken some profits on stocks. We're in some stocks, but I really want to concentrate on some of the short-term moves. So we're going to focus on using the RockBot to identify some of the HPS setups and trade those using the micro contract. Again, you could use the ES contract. You could use the ES mini. You could use the micro. You could use the NASDAQ, the YM. You could set up whatever you feel like. The Russell. You could trade any of these using this technique and basically set it up the same way. So first thing I want to do is actually set up my RockBot. Now for the members out there, the lifetimers who got the RockBot code and you want to run this on your machine, you could do that. That's what I'm doing this here to kind of show you how to set it up. You go to your Ninja Trader 8 dashboard here. I already have the RockBot 1 minute buy working on the ES over there on the RockBot channel. But what I want to do is set up a, what I would like to do is I always allocate a new account to each of the scripts, so it keeps things separate for me. It's just the way I've begun, so I make an account here, a sim account for each one of the scripts. So we're going to take a look at this here. This is interesting here. I'm going to right click on this. You can see we have the sim. You get the standard sim when you start off, but I've added the 1 minute long short divergence sim, the 5 minute divergence sim, long and short, the original gangster. So every script, bull, bear, flag, I kind of make things so I've done this for testing. So I'm actually going to make an account here. I'm going to right click on this and it's going to add simulation account, and let me make sure this is on the right screen here. I gotta get rid of this right here. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say MES. Now I could just say MES and do anything on the MES on that, or I could say MES divergence or whatever script I want to do. So I'll do MES 1 minute divergence. Divergence can be short or long. Everything else is going to be fine. It automatically starts off there, and then click OK. And then disconnect or reconnect to require to make the account effective. So what we're going to do is, see, it's not here. It doesn't have it right. So we're going to go up here. We're going to go to connections. Right now I'm feeding it with my IQ feed. I'm going to disconnect that. And this should go down here. You should see a green light. Now it's off. And then we're going to go back. And we're going to click on your feed. And it should turn yellow, then turn green. And now you have your MES here, MES set up there. Now it didn't give me a space in between that. I wonder if I could edit that. Edit account, just to get a, I don't know why it didn't do that. Maybe I have to put a space in there. Reset, should I reset? No. Well, we'll just leave it for now. Alright, so now I have that set up. Next thing I want to do is open up a chart. So I want to go to chart, go to new chart. And for our purposes, we're going to be trading the MES. So I'm going to go to the pull down. It should be MES there in the forward, because if it's not there, you can just write it in. If whatever's there. If it's not there, it'll pop down there, and then you click OK. Now it automatically has my template, and you guys have my template because I uploaded that to the RockBot core page, where you can download the template and directions on how to get your charts to look like this. All the lines and everything that's involved in this. The only thing I don't think is showing up here is the VWAP, which I want to go to my indicators here. Is it there? I don't see it there. All right, I'm going to go to my indicators here. And I think it was, I don't think it's on here. Bear with me. And these are where you're going to grab all your indicators. When I talk about, you can download the template, but you still have to make sure your indicators are here where you're going to drag them down there. They're going to automatically, make sure they're in here, meaning that my watermarks have to be in there. I have to upload that as a standalone third-party script. So anything, that's the only thing you really need to upload into that, import into it. So order flow VWAP. And I'm going to add that. Now I think these are all, let's see here, let's apply it. But right now it's not, oh, there it is. All right, so it's good. Sometimes it has the standard deviation lines on it and stuff, which I believe I kind of made them transparent so you don't see them. So I just wanted the regular VWAP. So the only thing that's in there now that's the VWAP right there. So now we have the MES contract, forward contract, the June contract. And now the next thing we want to do is go to strategies. Make sure, actually the next thing I want to do here is go back out here. I want to go over to this section over here, and I'll go down to my accounts, and I'm going to go down to the MES here, Sim MES 1 minute divergence. So you make sure that's on the MES. Now I'm going to go to my strategies, and I'm going to just pull in the 1 minute Thunderbird 1 minute buy. I'll put on this. I'll also put the 1 minute short on this. 1 minute short on this, Thunderbird 1 minute short on this. So I'll put them both up on here. It's a 1 minute chart, so we have to make sure we keep the 1 minute scripts on there. I'm not going to put remember, everything has, I like to use a separate chart for 5 minutes and use that 5 minute time frame. So we have the 1 minute long, 1 minute buy, and the 1 minute short. And these are the parameters. Now, the parameters, I'm going to probably switch up a little on this. So let's go to the buy. These are the parameters right now. These are the default parameters. And again, the important part is giving this enough room to run in the beginning. So we're going to look at profits only, again, with the MES, which is 1/10 the ES. Do the calculations. You're going to get 1/10 the profit if you're just holding one. So I like to do 5 or do 3. It depends how volatile the market is, and if we're these trades could easily just give you $50 real fast. Just 1 or 2 contracts. It's really they move real fast. You can easily get $50, and that's what we're going to be trading for, about that point, that amount. And again, I will be taking these trades off of the signals. The bot will not take the trades for me. I have my accounts on a different computer, and I have this one on the broadcast computer. So I'll be letting these take the trades, and then I'll be adjusting my trades and taking those with this. And that's what I'd like to do, because sometimes you could get news, you could get a setup before news, and you don't want to be in that. I always kind of make sure that I am, visually making sure the divergence is there. I like certain divergences better than other divergences, so I want to be able to pick and choose those. All right, so first profit, we're just going to put down here as 12 ticks. And second profit, we're going to put down, we'll double that, we'll do 24. And just standard. Now 5 lot or 2 lot, it doesn't matter. I'll keep it as 5 right now. That's a good point. But the stop loss is, I think, going to be the important one here. Right now it's set for 3 points. Now that's nothing in this market. The volatility in this market, a pop on one of these candles could be 5 points, and you could be chopping around and easily got chopped out. So I want to give this enough room. So I want to actually make it 20 ticks. And then always want to have my trailing stop starting at a break-even point. So if we get up to take profits on the 12 ticks, the trailing stop is going to start. And that starts after 12 ticks. So if we get up to 12 ticks, trailing stop will kick in, and then the trailing stop will come in as far as we want to put it up 12 ticks. Start at 12 ticks underneath the price, which would be a break even. If the market has moved up 12 ticks and first profit is being hit, and after the first profit, trailing start is starting after 12 ticks, and it starts 12 ticks under the price, meaning that's break even at 0. So that gives us something to work with, and then the lots and everything else is going to be the same there. Now the important part is taking the account and lining it up with the chart. So we're going to put that on the MES 1 minute divergence. Now I want to activate this, and you're going to see it backfill some things. Now I'm not really worried about the backfill. I want to just go and just make sure everything's good going forward. So we're going to apply that. Well, actually we have to scroll down and we have to hit enable here. Right there. And everything else I'm just going to keep the same. Sometimes I like to change this to on each tick, calculate on each tick. So I'm going to apply. Boom. So now it's going to pop up here if it's, well, we have our VWAP in there. We have see if we get this. We should have the order pop up there. I have to apply and OK. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Let's make sure it's, let me take a look at the strategies here. It's right there. All right. Oh, you know what I did? I put the short on there, but I didn't change the short. See what happened here? I put the short. I didn't change the short script over, and that's. I think most people are going to get a little confused sometimes. They got to make sure their chart is lined up with it. Now you can see this thing is now activated. Our buy signal is activated, but our short didn't activate. So let's go back. And no, actually, no, we don't want to do that. We want to just minimize this, and you can see the long is activated, and these are great longs. You can see a nice move up here, a nice move taking profits there. Identifying those divergence pretty good. But what we're going to do here is go back to our strategies, go to my short, disable. Oh, it wasn't even enabled, so that's good. We never did the short. And we're going to switch that over to the same chart, the MES chart. And then we're going to apply it, activate it, and apply it. And then it comes up here. Now we'll see the shorts. Let's see if this is going to be a short setup here. Make sure it's active here. Now, when it's yellow or green, that tells us that when we closed out, we only had a second profit here when the market closed. That means it's still holding one long because the market closed on Thursday night, but it was still active. So it's going to be yellow if it's active. It's yellow. If it's green, then it means it's waiting for it to trade. If it's white, it means it's not on. So those are 3 different colors you might see. So sometimes you will get it like you might turn it on and it'll calculate and place the back orders in. In some cases you might turn it on and it might be right here, and this would have been a divergence setup, and it'll say technically we're still in a divergence, and it won't trigger a new divergence until this one plays out. Even if you start at mid, right when you started up during the day. So if it happens to be in a divergence setup, it'll say currently in a divergence, and that's okay. That'll work its way out, because when that hits its target internally, it will finish off and it'll turn back green again, and you'll get posted the trade. So that's good. So that everything is working now. Let's see if we see any. Let's see if we can see any shorts in here. Here's the one that didn't work. Here's a nice divergence that popped. Nice divergence that popped. Beautiful divergence. And again, see what we're seeing here is we're getting these setups. We're getting some follow through. Yet we could get much bigger moves. We could easily get much bigger moves, and that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to understand that when we get these orders in, we're going to put these stops in here. You might even want to have a bigger trailing stop, the 12, because it'll come back and grab that, grab that trade and stop you out with a trailing stop, even though you had a nice, a few points there. The tick wise, just went all the way up to 92. It took more profits at 98. That was good, and then it trailed back and got out. It took 95, had a trailing stop. But not to say it couldn't get a lot more if you've had a wider or a looser trailing stop, and that's what we want to concentrate on. I mean, this is about identifying these good setups. Now, again, I want to, you could have these activated. I almost want to have it activated on my side. I maybe might try to move over my account over to this computer and stuff, and I just want to have different feeds and stuff, and it's going to be very complex because I have other feeds running on here. But it would be faster to be able to get in, let the bot take the trade, adjust your stops, and manage it. I'm totally for that. I might actually do that on the other computer. That's what I could do. I could actually do that on the other computer. That's good. That's a good thing. I'm gonna have to set that up next. But I think that's gonna work good. The parameters I have here on this is gonna work good. So we'll go back to those parameters just to kind of go over them one more time, and we'll adjust them. And I didn't even take a look at the parameters on the short side, which I already defaulted as. That's the short, and here's the buy. All right, so 12, 24, 12, 12, 12. Again, as you move these around, the trailing stop, if I put a trailing stop in here of like 20, maybe this would have taken off and could have gotten much more, but we might have also gotten stopped out of other ones. So it's kind of a balance. But just to kind of let's take a look here. Let's say we change this trailing stop. Trailing stop to 24. Let's just change it to 24. Where our second target is. It starts at 24. I'm just curious. See, this to show you. See, now it's you didn't get stopped out here on the pullback. It actually got stopped out up here, so it gave you a much bigger run. Instead of getting out at 95, it got out at 800. It gave you another 5 points, so which is big. So here the same thing, gave you a lot more of an upside pop. Here the trailing stop came at 85. It was in 9. It could work against you here. It didn't hit its second target, so the trailing stop came in, and that's what I'm saying. If it doesn't catch your second target, but most of them are going to be good, and you're going to be managing these. That's what I want you to do. I want you to manage all these, but you can see really good trades there, really nice trades. Some of them very choppy. This would have been good. It looks like that was a divergent short. So it did have a little short here with that little candle, but the move was up here. But these are good. This is nice. This is nice. This one here got choppy. But this was, remember that secondary divergence. We were talking about this one earlier today on the earlier video. It did catch that big candlestick divergence. That's the one I'd rather have. And that's a big move too. And this is a big move too. That's not bad. I mean, some of these roll over, comes back down, trailing stops. So you have to balance that. It's definitely giving you some. Most of them are giving you an upside thing. It's just about being able to take as much profits before getting that rollover. And remember, these are activating on a downward channel or a downward motion in the market. So it's more, you love getting an upside move, and then a divergence on an upside. You get some nice runs. Curious what the biggest run could have been. Look at that one. This is how you like it. They like it, because the divergence here took first profit, didn't get stopped out, but was able to get the second profit and the trailing stop. So you're able to grab onto some of these, and then of course some of them just. I wonder where's the shorts. I want to take a look at the shorts here. I want to take this one off so we could get a picture of what shorts are left there. Apply. Now the only thing on the board are the shorts. There might not have been as many. That's a wicked candle there. That candle that went up there and took out the recent highs. That was a tough candle. It did hit its profit. It took the short, hit its first profit, second profit, and then trailing stop came in and got it. But that was real fast. I mean, it did take the profits on that. It did make something on this one. Again, a little candle to the top, reversed, but this one continued to move higher. 1 minute short, nice pullback, taking profits, trailing stop. That was a good one. Most of these are good. I'm happy with it. And again, I think we're going to just nail it next week. We're going to really nail this. Now, sometimes you have that chart right up against the edge of the chart there. If I right-click the chart and go down to properties, I'll see 8 here as my right side margin. I just put a 0 there, make it 80. Apply it, and that gives me a little bit more margin. I just like that setup there. And then let's go back to the strategies. Enable. Apply. All right. You can see that was the last nice divergence there. And you can see sometimes you're saying, well, this is a late entry. I mean, that's what we're doing here. I'm trying to get a pointer here. See this candle right here? At that candle, the next candle, it's looking back at each candle. And this candle took out the lows. The stochastics on this candle. Let me double check the script on this too. I might be able to tighten this one up a little. Sometimes I'll take a look at the data box, and there's a thing here for the data box that you can bring up. And if I'm doing, and I want to make sure everything's working correctly, I want to take a look at that divergence and make sure that divergence fits the criteria. So I could cross over there and look over to my data box and look at my stochastic. You see those stochastics under the 12 line here. Let's see what this one is. This one's over to 28. And this is what it's triggering here. And let me double check one thing here. All right, so I just was doing a retest here. We're in 24 minutes into this video, so don't worry. I'm recording it all because I wanted to make sure everyone's set up on this. This is setting up the MES on the 1 minute chart, and this is for next week, which we're going to tackle the MES using the RockBot and some of the signals and stuff. So we're going to try to best, and hopefully I could have this running on the other computer too, so I could just take advantage of these great entries and fast moves. Because you know what, it really is. I mean, what's great about this is sometimes you don't even notice that there's a divergence because we're always looking at that pivot area. But when we make a low here, you're not realizing that the stochastics are already higher than the previous. You know, we're already seeing that turn back up than the previous low. So you're seeing these mini divergences, which are very hard to see with the naked eye, because you're looking at this low and you're looking at this low and this low and this low, but there's really a divergence here that's playing out between these two candles. This candle came down, and it's very hard to see, but the formula sees it and it's able to activate on it much faster. And if we kind of hesitate a little, you could be a couple candles after this and not take advantage of it, because these things move really fast. So it is probably okay to let these things activate for you. Just make sure that there's always, you're not letting it run freeform overnight and just, but always keep an eye on it. I just like it because it can get you in faster than the human eye can get you in. All right, so this is set up on the MES going into Monday, so we'll probably use this. It seems like it's set up pretty good now. A question out there to set up the super signal, so I'll set up the super signal. All right, but that's it on the MES. I just want to make sure everyone's on board on that going into Monday. I want to save this, send it out with the HBS watch list.